Yes, do some quick washing. That was the point, wasn't it? Not only looking at it, but washing it a bit. Yes. Cleaning. Tome of magic. Yes. So clean. And now we'll have a look at the next book, which is... Yes, the next book, and the first book in part 3 is the Monster Manual. Yes. The Monster Manual. There have probably been a lot of reprints of this one as well. I don't know the history of it. I think this is close to the original one, but I'm not sure. I guess it's been slightly more used, but it still is rather taken care of, don't you think? Not a lot of Mr. isn't written here either, I see. Not a lot of wear and tear, if you ask me. A slight discoloring I can see here. Slight discoloring, but rather well taken care of. How about that, Andy? You really could take care of your things. Yes, Monster Manual. I had the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I had a 12-sided die. Yes, I had all the core books. We have, of course, gone through them very randomly, but you know. So we have the Player's Handbook, then we have the Monster Manual, and the Tome of Magic. But we have one more of the core books, which is this one. Oh, before any nerd corrects me, this, of course, is not a core book at all. This is an accessory, main accessory. So this is the Dungeon Master's Guide, and as you can see, this has a completely different layout and design than Player's Handbook. And I even recall that I wanted this version here, but you know, for some reason you couldn't. I couldn't get it anymore, so this was the one I had to get. Fine, whatever. And it's called something, this design. Black. There were a lot more books of this design. Black, and then with a frame. But I don't know what the design is called, but I'll put it on the screen here. And as you can see inside, the design is different. The logo is also changed, as you can see. They have removed the second edition version. The second edition rewriting. That's what I tried to say. But it was second edition, I'm pretty sure of it. Yes, most likely. And so you can see it's more festive and colorful design. Reminiscent, to use a good English word, of the Mystara layout, to be honest with you. Looks very Nordic, Vikingish, if you ask me. All the chapters had this layout, I think. I don't know if there's any differences in wording, phrasing, or it's just this design difference. I could put it in a lower third if I do some research on it during editing. Is it slight discoloring? Slight discoloring? Because you see here, it's a little bit more red, and here's a little bit more brown. How old is this book? Okay, let's have a look at the printing. First printing April 1995, and it's been all over the world, this book. Well, not really, but it's been it's been in shelves, and it's been in storage, and it's been in cellars, and maybe even attics. No, not that one. So you can see there's a lot more colorful pictures in the book. So that's one of the good things. I remember, looking at this one. Infinite possibilities! Oh, the story here. Why is this warrior here? Why is this thing attacking him? What could be? What could be, right? Infinite possibilities! Yes, this one too. I think this inspired me to write a adventure that we may look at later. And I've been nerding a lot in Dungeons and Dragons. Not played it a lot, but nerded a lot. Yes, a very lot. Okay, so this is the Black Book, or whatever it's called. The next one is, yes, probably another Impulse by Monsters Compendium Annual Volume 2, right? But did I need it? No, of course not. I barely used this one. But I bought it. Went to the nerd shop. Back then there was like one nerd shop in the entire of Norway. I'm exaggerating, but not a lot. I had to go to the capital of Norway to find nerd shop so I could buy this. And so every time I went to Oslo, the nerd shop, I felt slightly compelled to buy something because I've been traveling for 3 hours to get there, you know? So it may have been impulse buying a lot, but I think it makes a little bit of sense too, right? It wasn't like I were there every month or something. At least I don't think I was. So the final role-playing things I had from this for this chapter, this part, is these three, and they aren't trigger warning. They aren't actually Dungeons and Dragons. What? Not Dungeons and Dragons? And then it's Mutant Rymd. I don't know how big they were in the rest of the world. I'm also a little bit unsure about country of origin. I'm not sure, but I think it actually is Swedish. I'll put in here on the screen if I'm correct. And so this may be actually the original, because this is in Swedish. But I'm not sure if it's a translation of the Swedish. I'm not sure if it's a translation of an American or English thing, or if it is the original role-playing language that later is translated, if at all, to English. These are details. I'll put it on screen so you can read it there. But this is the Swedish version of the RPG called Mutant Rymd. Mutant Rymd. And the first one is Regler, which is the rules for Mutant Rymd. And then this is the campaign part of Mutant Rymd. And if you don't know anything about it, I think it's like 2 versions of this called Mutant, just Mutant, and then you have Mutant Rymd. And Mutant is basically just placed on Earth, and then you have the universe and everything that explored on Earth, mainly on Earth. And Mutant Rymd expanded the place to reach the galaxy. No, the star system. I think it went from the sun. If you look at the campaign, you'll see that they explain the big planets, but also they looked at moons and the corporations and a lot of different aspects. But the main focus, it has some great art too, don't you think? The main focus is on the planets, right? And then they had like the main planets of the star system, but they added one planet that they just found, right? And it explains the geography and different details, space stations and stuff like that. And if I remember correctly, like this one, Nero, the last planet they discovered, had some cruel demon-like things on it. But yeah, it's been ages since I played it, and it's not mine. That's the thing too. It's not mine. I got it from my cousin, the guy that I asked if I could buy his D&D, who threw it all away. So I may have saved that one. And this is an adventure for Mutant Rimmed. This is Mutant Chronicles. Yes, that's the thing. Mutant Rimmed and Mutant Chronicles, but they were basically like, yeah. But the question is it Swedish or is it Target Games AB? That indicates to me that it's a Swedish company. So this is actually the original language. And it may have been translated into other countries, other languages, but this is the original language. How much is this worth, do you think? Write in the comment section below. Look at that, ADHD. Why did I do that? I don't know. But I did. It's clearly cut. It's clearly cut. Okay. I think that's the final books we'll look at in this part. The next one, we'll have a look at this heap over here. Bye bye!